Okay. We should be going live any moment now. Should be seeing some people coming in. Yeah, sure. We'll just choose this song. Hopefully it's not too loud or too quiet. Probably good there. Good morning, Chad. Well, for me, it'd be good evening. How you doing? Can't hear me. Oh. Did the music a little too loud? It seemed like it was pumping up a little bit. It seemed like it was a pretty strong vibe. I'm doing alrighty. Is this still bad? My mic volume's low. It doesn't look like it is. Let me see. Let me increase it some. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? I bumped me up a whole 1 decibel. Hopefully that's gonna help some. The music was also very poppin', so that also was a huge part of it, I'm sure. Great. Yeah, I've been chilling. Some news. We have the one and only Peach in our Discord now, and he's just chatting with us, being just a fella, being a pal. My eye. I just got done mowing the lawn. I'm living at a place where there's a lawn right now, so I just had to do that, and there was grass everywhere. So I'm sorry if I wipe my eyes or you see grass. If you see grass, pretend you didn't, for my sake. Yeah. Also, speaking of Peach, we have a Peach-made macro to break down for him. He sent me one of those in a DM, so we got a Peach-made macro, which I'm excited to look at. Your previous business was lawn care? It sounds boring, but I'm sure it was somewhat enjoyable. It is peaceful to ride around on like a mower for a while, or to weed whack, just staring at a spot, just moving along in a straight line. It's good to get your mind off things too. And if you can do straight edges, then you're pretty good. I think you're pretty set for making that a business, making money off of it. I think we also have a macro from Sleeveless. Yep, I do. Yeah, it is a lot of hard work. I definitely can see that. I mean, for one, it's a lot of manual labor. And that's hard work no matter what you're doing. And then it's doing people's lawns, which is outside and any weather pretty much. Show us your power. My power? I will eventually. I haven't even hit my full power level. So cringy. I'm so sorry. Let's wait. I don't know if you were in here, James, but I am reviewing a macro from Pegent. You know, the YouTuber Pegent. He sent me a macro. And I'm also reviewing a macro for Sleeveless from our Discord and community. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer for some people to get in here. Some slackers. I don't know if Peach is going to hop in, but I think Sleeveless will. Sleeveless usually likes to hop into our streams. I'm just going to give it a little bit longer. Hey, you finally got the lawn done. Hold on. Were you here when we were just talking about that? And you just decided to start chatting now? Or was that just a weird coincidence? Because I just finished doing the lawn over here as well. You've been here? Okay. Okay, I was going to say. Some freak coincidence right there, but alright. Is that Phi? No, it's not Phi. No, Phi is that. No, what was that fairy? I'm trying to remember what the "Hey, listen" was from that song. You were just here and could hear over the. Okay. Let's go and start with Sleeveless's macro. Let's see. Did you put that? What did you put that under? Let me see. That's always the problem with reviewing macros is I don't know what people actually categorized it as. All right, looks like you put it under titles. And Sleeveless Studios. Ooh, that's a whole pack of them. I thought it was just gonna be one. All right, well, let's take a look at a few of these. This one looks familiar already. I know you guys can't see it yet. I'm just getting stuff ready. I'm doing good, Essential. How you doing? I remembered your name. Oh, how's it going, Pete? You stopped by. I wasn't sure if you would come by or not. I figured that at least I have Sleeveless to review his macros for. I might do Sleeveless's macro reviews first, since he has quite a few. And then I'll hop over to your macro as well. I'm just going to give a quick second for everyone to be sure that they're ready to listen. I'm also going to take a second to open up my can. Okay. Alright, everything looks good over here. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Sweet. Oh, that took care of my shot. Amateur hour. Okay. You can just pick some at random if you want. Let's see. Let's take a look at the ones we got. Let's see, this one has a font. I'm guessing I just can't see because I don't see. Nothing's coming up. Hello. The one called Ink Title seems broken here. Because it doesn't seem to want to come up with anything. Bounce one is cool. None of them are called Bounce. Okay, this one I definitely don't have the font for. Okay. This one doesn't even have the font in it. I know this probably was just a mistake, but make sure you have the fonts on here. It probably was just an accident, but yeah, fonts are important to have when you don't have the font on someone else's computer. So let me unpack this real quick. Was there something new that you added? Because yeah, I don't see it on my list over there. Where is that other text? Here we go. that looks pretty cool. I won't be commenting necessarily on the like styles and what's actually happening in it. That's between you and what you feel like is good. I'll only really comment on like the look, design, overall feel of the macro itself, and putting it together. You know. Oh yeah, yeah. Because I just grabbed it from the Discord. Yeah, I didn't think about grabbing it from the video. I thought it was gonna be different. Maybe I have an older version. Maybe that's why I don't have your other bounce in here. So I can tell you're definitely using my macro creator because you're getting these extra text nests in here, which can be easily solved. If anything, you can leave these nests in there and then just replace the names with text 1, text 2, whatever. I mean, I don't really have much to comment on about like the design. That is genuinely up to you. If you feel like it looks good, that looks good. I won't judge your feel of how it looks. Yeah, do you want to send me the newest version then? Or I can just go into your video real quick and I can get that from it. So I can make sure I have the most recent version to actually be reviewing. Yeah. Yeah, the credits tab definitely is not your best part about this. Can I even look at the description? Oh wait, is it not on this one? Is it on your tutorial? Because I don't see a full-length video about your titles. Oh yeah, there it is. I see it. It's in your tutorial. Okay, I'll actually drop this in the chat for anybody who wants to check this out as well. There you go. That's Sleeveless's macro pack that he's put together. All right, let's try to install this again and see if it works. It should. Oh, is this going to open up the exact same folder? Because if it will, I may have to replace the old one. Yes, I'll have to replace it. Okay, no problem. Just delete this one, and I'll just open up a folder in Fusion. Get rid of this old one. Oh, yeah. Don't mind being hard on you. Oh, don't worry about it. I might be harsh on you, potentially. No, I won't be. I'm usually pretty relaxed about it. Don't worry about it. Now, if what? Oh, 7-zip has it open. I'm a dummy. There we go. Now we can get going. My mess of projects. Don't worry about that. I need to go through those and clear them out. You still used fonts though. Just have to change them. Yeah, it's okay. Fonts are always a problem when it comes to making templates with like cool custom looks and everything. Further down. The balance one is the one you like. All right. Let's take a look at the fill, and we'll take a look at the ray lower third. I gotta take a look at the pixel one as well. And maybe I want to point out your reveal is spelled differently between these last two. Just wanna say that. You have reval and then reveal. All right, let's do a split reval. Let's do that one. Okay. I'm just taking a look at the look first. That probably was not meant to happen. Oops. What is happening here? Also, that is a lot of tabs. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, Batman. I'd recommend if you want to put your icon on here, put it under settings, which is called common. It's the common tab. So if you ever want to like make a new tab, just set that page to common for your image, and it won't have like a whole tab just for it. Just an option for you. But let's see what else we got here. Why is it doing this? I'm guessing it may be like a time speed issue. It's usually what these end up being. Or keyframe stretcher. Let's see what could be causing that. The text is coming up fine. Yeah, the keyframe stretcher shouldn't be doing that. I'm guessing it's because your animation takes longer than the set time of the default of this default size. My light just started shaking. So if we're searching it out, it does work okay. So yeah, it looks like you just have your animations too long for the default size of a title. for the default size of a title. Just be careful about that. Sometimes people won't use a macro if it has, like if it just goes black at some point. Why don't I see this one? That's weird. Oh. What? I don't know what that was about, but okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. People genuinely like things that have really good functionality and stuff that, I mean, don't do whatever the fuck that just was. But I mean, definitely doing that tactic is a great idea. Just like triple check your macros before you make them for sale. Just to make sure there's no weird issues like that happening, or this timing issues happening up to a bad start. Oh boy. Once again, though, I feel personally that it's not good practice to have keyframes in the menu for the person to look at, because they can accidentally break a keyframe and not realize it if they're just working on this really fast. I'd recommend using modifiers to do animations because it'd be much faster and way easier to edit for the edit page. So doing something like my anim utility tool would be really nice. But if you do have to do this, use a dummy slider. No, because that would still probably break it. Modifier maybe. I don't know. I can't really think of a good other way to do it off the top of my head, besides maybe having the animation happen inside of like a transform node and then have the user have the size from the text node. That's just my thought. Is like a possibly what you could do there to avoid that problem. Because having that there, like someone could accidentally put a keyframe here just by trying to like make it bigger, not realizing right away that that's actually keyframing it. And then when they play it back through, it does this, which is not the intended result, I'm guessing. So it's just like make the macro as if your user isn't very smart. Make it so that they can easily make the thing they want to make without accidentally freaking everything up on accident. You've been working trying to figure out anim curves. Wampus mentioned today using the keyframe stretcher on modifiers. Yeah, the keyframe stretcher on a modifier not in the node is better because it doesn't break as much, to my knowledge. But it's still not super easy to do. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, for this example, the user, imagine that they're stupid and wouldn't think that this is going to keyframe it by changing the value. think of it as if the user is dumb, because that's generally what you're gonna have to do. Because people will be dumb using this tool. It's just how it's gonna be. There's not much you can do about it. People will be dumb and they will start to mess things up and get upset at the tool, thinking that it's the tool's fault for it not working how they want it to. Because all it did is just change the size. Why doesn't it just change the size and it's just that size afterwards? Because it's not set up that way. So you have to think about like how they would probably use it. They might just end up breaking it. Like I've been using a bunch of these, using these a bunch, and I made them. Oh, for these, you've been using this a bunch and you made them. I have seen them in your video. They do look pretty nice. I like a lot of the styles. Now, some of the styles aren't for me, but I like a lot of your styles you have in here. They're pretty nice. Another font issue. I think this is the same one we had before. And I will be getting into some of the nodes in some of these. But real quick, I just want to see if they all work first. Change macro type. Change your font. To varying degrees. No, not everything is my favorite thing, but that's just how it tends to be. And that's also too short. Another font issue. Okay, that one had another sizing issue. I'm just looking at them to see which one do I want to like look at to see what all did you add to it and like what can we like break down inside the fusion comp. Okay, that one has some good stuff happening in it. Let's actually take a look at this one. The split Revol. Change that type. All right. So you have a lot of crazy stuff happening in this one. Let's make some room. Are you face following my pronunciation of your Revol? Hey, nice going. I almost called you Sentinel again. Essential. I'm excited to see what you make, and if you want to have me look at any of them, let me know. I can take a look at them on the stream. Let's see what we got. If it will load faster. You did spell it wrong. It says Revol, not reveal. That's why I'm saying it that way. Okay, anyway. Oh, interesting. So it's coming into here in black and white. And then it's, hold on. Oh, this is how you're doing the opacity. No, sleeveless. You have to double check your spelling sometimes, dude. Of course, I'll have it there for review on stream. Sweet. I may also end up doing video reviews. I might compile the things I've done on streams into a video. Yeah, after I have enough of them. So, what is happening with this? So you have this, and this is animated. So this is animating on. Okay. I don't know why it does a little turn there, but okay. I've never seen a dissolve node without having any of the settings changed as a masking node. I've never seen that before. It works. It does the job. I've just never seen that before. Excuse me. And then we have this one, which is you're just plugging things in sometimes. I mean, it definitely does the job, but you can do the same effect with probably a few different nodes. Without needing that with the extra node there, you can do, I think even just the mat control does the same sort of thing. If you plug the mask into the mask input, I think it does the same thing. That may be a no. Okay, it doesn't do it with that input. I'll get there in the end, guys. No, okay. Maybe you can't do it with the mat control. I thought you could off the top of my head, but I know you can with like a brightness contrast. If you have one of these in here, turn on alpha and then turn your gain down. I showed this off in a video to make an opacity node. Then you can just do something like this, and this will animate it. It's reversed because it hates you, but it does the same thing. Ta-da! And it's one less node. Everybody's favorite thing. I think it was you try to merge an alpha divide, but originally you were controlling the dissolve with the mask. Yeah, I mean the dissolve wasn't being animated anymore, and it was just one extra node. And I don't know, there may be certain nodes that are more optimized than others. Like the dissolve node might be more optimized than the brightness contrast. I don't really know. But generally, I'd say less nodes is better. How's it going, Fairway Media? How's it going? We're doing some macro reviews. We're looking at Sleeveless's macros today. And we also got Peach's macros here in a little bit. I think overall, your effectiveness of getting the look that you want works really well. I have a thing against keyframe stretchers, but I mean, I believe you can also do other stuff with it. You're playing a casual disc golf game? Nice. Thanks for stopping by. I believe if you insert keyframe stretcher, that should avoid being like you needing to have the node in there. Oh yeah, that's true. The dissolve type. Does that have an effect on masks? I'm not aware of that. Thanks for the kind words, Fairway. I appreciate that. We're doing some good work here. Hopefully we can start getting some more people in the macro game. It's my goal. But I mean, overall, looks pretty good. I couldn't tell you what this brightness contrast node is actually doing. Is this masking as well? Oh, this is doing that mask. Okay. Oh yeah, I see okay, I see what's happening now. Within the border. Interesting. I didn't know that would do that. Let me see. Can I back up enough to see that? Mat control. Dissolve. Erode. It does not seem to be affecting the mask anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to take a look at that, or maybe I'll have to take a look at that sometime. Had to go make me look. I had to double check. I'm a very curious person. This one. I mean, you're doing a lot of really cool effects in here, but I'm guessing it's like only like a couple of different nodes. What was that? Select the text in the view for style options. Well, almost. Instead, it just goes away. Why? It's just gone. It's gone. Don't know why. That is the wrong thing. Autopilot kicked in. I just started opening up the macro creator. That's not correct. You want to change a macro type. Let's see here. What have we got? You have to do that only in Fusion. Interesting. Yeah. Because you can only do it over here. Okay. I believe there are ways around that, but at the same time, character level styling is always kind of a pain in the butt. So I may have to look into it. I think I knew a way to do it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Maybe you have already figured it out based on what you're saying, but I don't really know off the top of my head. If you got some edge text going on, here I can't see that anymore. I figured that's maybe what you were doing to get the different effect like that. It looks like an edge detect. Yup. That's just a move. Is it a crop? Oh, well, you maybe did, but the modifier for character level styling is also weird because it has like that appear and hide kind of situation. So I don't know if I've ever actually tried to put one of those onto the edit page before. I don't know. I never tried that. I'll have to give it a shot. Okay, this is your wall of pixels, as everybody has. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so far I think your nodes are pretty good. I think nothing about your nodes stands out as like bizarre. Why the heck would you ever do that? Got the idea from TJ Beats. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few different things of like doing the halftone effect with the same sort of idea, but instead of rectangles, it's just circles. And it's the same exact sort of idea that you're kind of going for here. There's obviously other stuff with it. I think Paige made a video on that a little while ago. Hello, Orson. Yeah, he did it with an image. Yeah. Is there any one that you want in particular, like broken down sleeveless? Want me to like judge how you've done it, or judge the controls? I will say the controls are. I think having a lot of controls is nice, but having every single node's controls in totality, it may be a little much for some people. It's really up to whatever you want to like have your objective for the actual macro. Like, do you want the idea of it to be really customizable or really user friendly? Because there's always like a hard divide of trying to figure that out for each creator. So it's definitely up to you. Do you want it to be really controllable, but also not for every single user? Or do you want it to be really user friendly, really simplistic, but it can still do a lot? And that will require a lot more behind the scenes stuff like expressions and random different things like that, like different code and such. The symbol lower third. Yeah, it has the font issue. Okay. And you got your low quality and then just the till there. Convert this real quick. Okay. So yeah, it looks like you've animated a box to follow that path, and then what does it clean off the screen? A lot of people don't even have nests in the macros, so you're already a step ahead of them. Big thank you to my tool though, because the nest making these nests are a pain in the butt normally, for no reason at all. Just like they just feel like being a pain in the butt. Let me see here. And this is what's changing the position and size. Oh, this one's also clearing off. Is it just not showing me what's happening on the second half of this macro? Oh, it's because the keyframe stretcher. Okay. Okay. On the edit page, the color of the bar does something weird. Like on its default settings, or do you have to change something about it? Well, it would seem that nothing's happening at all. What is this controlling? Okay, I will say though, this it doesn't seem to be actually controlling anything. This looks like just a dummy slider that doesn't have any effect on anything inside the macro. You might want to take a look at that. But you want me to take a look at simple reveal. Okay. This one's spelled right. Okay, this one seems like I maybe also be having that problem. Yeah. So for that problem, my first question is, do you remember if you had it broken clock is right twice a day. Do you remember if you had it connected to the output when you saved the macro? Like, I'm guessing you right clicked and did a save as. That's my guess. Okay, that's your little shiny thing. And you had everything connecting out to the output. I don't know why it would be doing that. I don't know why it wouldn't be connecting it out automatically. I've never seen that yet before. No one's had any issues that before in the past. That's really weird. I'll have to look into that before we release it. Okay. Oh, is this just... Okay. So my recommendation for this is a duplicate node. Since these both are the exact same, I recommend a duplicate node. So what we can do is we can have two copies. We can offset one down to where it needs to be. About right there. And then we can flip it 180. Bring it back up so it's actually lined up. And now it animates in the exact same way. I think maybe slightly different because I think your curves are different. But there you go. Now you have the exact same effect with just one little line. Obviously, some fine tuning needs to be done because I don't think it's 100% accurate. I think it is slightly different, but there you go. There's a quick way to make that a little bit more efficient. And this one we got, yeah, this one's just the reveal for the text. Pretty sweet. We're missing a background. It gone. It's just gone. Okay. Also, I think this is probably just an accident, but these don't have to be 0. These can just be 1. I'm guessing. Unless there's like a particular reason why it'd be that. I don't think there is. It's there to change the gradient, but there's nothing here. You can't change this color anymore. There's no color information here. It could be a problem with the macro creator, but I don't know why it would do that. There are plenty of reasons why I guess it could do that. One, my bad coding is definitely a huge part of it. I only see the top bar. I don't see the bottom bar. Okay. I say your stuff looks pretty good. Just work on your UI overall. Study people's who have done full UIs in the past. Like some of my UIs are pretty good. I need to update some of them to be fair. But Alex's are pretty good. I think Patrick's are really good. Change it to gradient. I changed all the different options. Nothing's there. That one's also not changing. What am I clicking? I'm not. What do you mean now? Click it. Oh, you know what could be happening is it may not. Okay, so what happened is this and the one on the arrow page or the one on the edit page is desynced since I converted this to a group instead of a macro. I think if I click off of it, click back on it, it should. Yeah, now it updates. Macros are weird, but now it's working for you. Before I just was being a dick. Still, there's no color in here, which I feel like the default then should be gradient. Yeah, no, I just forgot entirely that it would do that. It's my bad. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to go over for yours? If not, we can take a look at Page's macro. Page sent me a macro privately, so I don't know if I'm allowed to share this with people, so it may be like in development or something. Either way, I won't judge. Let me actually install this instead of trying to drag it into a Fusion comp. Let's see, it is called skew, so it's a skew macro. No problem, Peach. You're fine. Um, is this an effect or a generator? I'm guessing it's an effect. It's always hard to tell when it's just a .settings file. Or is this a fusion? No, did you actually say that in our chat? It's for fusion. Okay, so it's not a macro for the edit page. It's just a fusion node. Okay. I should have reread the chat before I started the stream. I remember you saying something about that now. Don't know how I forgot about that. All right. There's some comments on Nose itself as well. Okay. Yeah, I saw your comment on on the main thing. Possibly hide controls on the user. Not sure. Could be nice. Could be a nice thing to show the stream for a macro review. Was that directed towards me? Okay. I got some good stuff cooking. Like for the full tutorial series going over making a macro from scratch, there's gonna be even more stuff that I didn't go over in my short little here's how you can do various things in for macros series. I didn't really have a good vision for that series, so it just kind of like fell apart really fast. But I have some good ideas for what we can do for our make your like build your own macro series because it's going to be very detailed, going over every little thing that I use for my macros. Skew. Yeah, look, we're already skewing. I may not know what these mean yet. Hold on. Let's take a look at what you've got here. So that's the skew amount for like I guess your average skew. Okay, I have to know how you're doing some of this stuff because it's pretty cool. Oh, is it in 3D? That looks 3D. Okay, I can. Sweet. I mean, to be fair, I also hope that you would know that, since that's what we do around here. uh, challenge. Is this all for you, or is this for me to read over as well? I want to make sure that it's like not just your little private messages about how you're gonna like construct the macro or something. Everything I can read. Okay. 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 I think I have seen the skew fuse. Okay. Uh, do you guys want me to read it off to you, or do you guys want to? I guess it is kind of hard to read on the stream, isn't it? I won't read over everything, but I will read off like key points that I see. Like Peach mentioning that there's also a skew fuse by June, which is the fuse goat, which makes this not unnecessary, but nonetheless it exists. Paraphrase maybe? Yeah. It's trying to use the least amount of expressions as possible. That is smart because expressions are laggy as shit. And there's not a huge way around that for most cases too. So it's gonna probably be like a pain in the butt throughout the entire process of making this. Oh, the skew node just like skews an image, text, something like that. You know how like sort of just like italics on text That, but on like anything. So like I can drag my logo in here. You're proudest of the buttons? All right. Well, I'll definitely have to look at your button code. Okay, maybe I put this over a bigger image. There we go. So yeah, we can see my image is now skewed. And you can change the skew angles. You can change the overall angle, which does some crazy 3D looking stuff. But I don't think it's actually 3D. You got a transform node, which doesn't immediately do anything besides it looks like maybe the motion blur. Maybe the edges is also that. Yeah, that's also the edges. And that's okay. Makes sense. What's your effect mask do? And then here's the fun one. What's this node? Corner positioner? Oh, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot of sense for the user. Okay. Actually, it's really smart. I didn't ever think about doing that before. Using a corner positioner. Oh, that is expression. Okay. Or not expression. This is instanced. I'm not going to attempt to read all of this because my brain doesn't work half the time. Because expressions take me like hours to figure out sometimes. That's Vision's method, but you changed it a little. Okay, okay. I need to learn how to do fuses because fuses still. I'm still confused about them. Like, do they use nodes inside of Fusion? Or do they use like parts of nodes? I don't understand how it works. I need to learn it. But we got, yeah, so your buttons. Let's take a look at your buttons. Oh, it's already up. Let's look at normal. There's a lot of code in here. Okay, so setting it to normal sets all of the okay. The naming convention is like B for bottom, R for right, okay, and then offset, and then Y. So this would be top, left, offset, X. Okay. This could take a while. Sweet. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just getting rid of expressions and then setting the different values, which looks like, yeah, it's these over here, which these are basically copies from this. Yes, that's what those are. If I had to guess, these are exact copies. Where's the user controls? I'm not finding what I'm expecting. TLP, let's look for that. So this is in the inputs. I like how it doesn't understand that. Okay. So okay, I thought these were user controls because these were on the user page, but all you did is just put them on a user page manually. Okay. I think I know why you're doing this because it's easier. This does solve the problem of sorry, I have knots in my hair right now. This does solve the problem of like calling to a node in the Fusion page by calling directly onto the tool, and that will work if the button code is inside the button. If you are using the method I showed off today, using the like code blocks, that will not allow you to like call in self, or is it self? Tool. Sorry, JavaScript. It won't allow you to call in tool because it no longer reads it as being on the tool. It reads it. I believe it runs that code in the code blocks on like a Fusion level, not a node level. So it won't know if it's on a certain node. So yeah, to use this method, you will have to use it like in the button code. You won't be able to do it separately, which sucks because then you don't have easy editing. Like you have to pull it back out every single time. And I mean, let's see what your other ones look like. So this is just your basically your reset one. So let's see what your other ones look like. One word maybe. There we go. So the new method will update the node in the script. So what I'm saying is the method I showed off in my video doesn't let you do this in particular. Let me zoom in some. You can't do tool dot if it's inside that code block, like the code text edit, because it runs that code inside the text blocks as if it is like executing it from the Fusion comp, from the Fusion console, not as if it's coming from the node. If you execute this same thing from a button straight out of the execute section of the button, then it works fine because the button knows it's on that node. So that's like what you're doing right here is you're getting tool and then that control versus normally if you'd call to a different node, I'm sure you know this, you would just do like skew instead. So this is inside of the code block, you have to use skew dot instead of doing tool dot, which is plus and minuses. If you have multiple skews, then it will break something because then you won't be able to like call to that skew. Jeez, you won't be able to call to that same skew in the duplicated one because then you'll have a different number, so it's going to break some stuff. There's a bunch of problems with button code. I wish that there was an easier way to avoid all these issues. Maybe I'll find one. Who knows? But let's zoom back out a tiny bit. This code, I believe. Yeah, the multiple copies of the node thing's a problem. Doing tool dot works fine because tool dot just reads if it's on this node, that's what you're calling to. But doing the thing I showed you today, nope, unfortunately not. I will keep searching for that solution though, because we desperately need that solution. Because right now, tools made for the Fusion page are falling behind for that one reason. Yeah. If you hide that page, like with the method that I showed you today, it should work fine. You got some fancy stuff happening with this one. Yeah, like if we come down to your buttons, this is the user controls for the thing. I have a file that I'm thinking about updating and actually like making it into like a PDF or something that has a bunch of code that I just constantly use for all my macros that I just keep switching out and changing for various things. Like you can execute a URL link with a button or something like that. You can put an image in your controls. You can color different labels and different names of controls. Pretty cool stuff. But let's go ahead and take this, plop her in there, and do user. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So we don't see your user page, but if we press the buttons, they still do the things. Magic. I wish there was a better way to do this. There's really not. maybe maybe you can make like a table for each of the names, and then so that instead of calling them again, you just call to a certain like my thought is like you have um, tool IDs in like a table like this. You just have a bunch of lists like this, and then when you go to use it, yeah, when you use my macro creator, what it does is if we go over to one of Sleeveless's ones over here, and if we hover over one of these, we can see it takes the name of the node that it was on and then the name of the control. So we can see in the bottom left it says it was on a background one, and then it's also called red or color. All reds get converted to color. And then you have top left green, blue, alpha, and that's how it is for all these. They all have what node they were on and then what control it is. It's way easier to use. I don't know why they don't do that by default. Well, I kind of do because when I made it, I can see why they didn't do that because it's a much more of a hassle to do it my way. And like I'm sure they were kind of lazy making it. Compared to me, who's like dealt with how they've done it for a while and just got tired of it and wanted to make it better. Comparatively, I guess. So then, what you do for this is my thought would be like you do for I in maybe would it be for I T for tool in I pairs tool ID. And you'd have something like this. I think T is what we're looking for here. And I think this does the exact same thing, I think, as all of this. If you just put these into a tool ID list, you can do like this, and then you can also do the same thing, but with these as well. And that's me thinking. I haven't tested this out yet, but I think that's how you can do it much faster with just these little bits of code. but we will be getting to that next week because Lua can be complicated for some people. But then like stuff like this, you know, outside of the outside of all these, and then these are unique, so they're doing those separately as well. Yeah, hopefully that can make your life a little bit faster because it's relatively simple. It allows you to just do this for all of these other lines of code, and then just a couple of exceptions. And that's, of course, you may have to test that and let me know if that works for you, because I don't know off the top of my head if it will. That's just me speculating some code that I think will work. And I suppose I could try it. Is anyone opposed to me trying this out real quick? Okay. I'm definitely putting things in the wrong order. I think things are going all over the place. Oh, wait. No, I'm just dumb. I thought you duplicated something as well, and I was like, oh, wait, it's not just me. No, it's just me. All right, I think that's going to do the exact same thing. And this one was from pin left, I believe. Oh, no, this one was from pin top. Okay. I've done one other loop thing before on a node, mostly a copy and paste from We Suck Less. I'll have to submit it another time. Sure. Sorry, give me 1 second. I have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back, you guys. What can I do to like keep your attention? My music's been stopped. No one's told me. No one tells me these things. There you go. There's some music for you. I'll be right back. Hi, I thought I muted this. I apparently did not mute this mic. How's it going? So I'm just organizing my windows. Okay. Okay. I don't need these headphones on. Hello. I am back. Sorry I took so long. Okay. So we were just about to test this to see if it worked. I just want to double check that I have things in here correctly. And before we can test it, we need to get rid of these unnecessary dashes. Oh, there's another line of code here. So we're just going to find pin top, which is pin top S. Pin top S. And hopefully I did everything correctly. So what we're trying to do with Peach's tool here, he has some code that I feel like could be taken down a tiny bit. Because this is a lot of repeating commands, just only one thing about them is actually changing. So my thought was, okay, let's try to maybe replace it with creating this list and then iterating through the list and taking that tool for both of these situations. Since it happens throughout this twice. So my thought is maybe we could optimize this by sending it through this and then sending it through the for loop and then just doing the odd ones out just like that. And now if we press the pin top button, I guess we're going to find out. Okay, so T was not the correct one to fill. It's not I, is it? I thought I is the number, not the returned item. And this is all stuff that probably is going to go over some of your heads if you don't know anything about Lua, and I'm sorry about that. In the next video, next week, I will be going over Lua stuff, so stay tuned for that. Okay. It does not like the code. I don't know why it does not like the code. How's it going, Doc? We're just reviewing some macros sent in by some people. I'm testing out some code to see if I'm as smart as I think I am, but I don't know if that's true. Okay. For some reason, it does not want to iterate through this list. Nice. Oxygen not included. I've never played it, but I've definitely seen some people play it. It looks fun. You know, for some reason, this isn't working. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what's going on with this. Maybe just pairs? Maybe just pairs will work? I have no idea what's happening. It just does not want to read this list as anything besides nothing. That is so weird. It's not that there's too much text in there, so you can see the end of the text. Weird. Is P still in the chat? Did he pop out? I know he was getting gas earlier. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I can't figure out why this won't work for you. I might do some testing off screen, but for some reason it does not want to accept that as a viable solution. Like, it won't even like iterate through it at all, which is unusual. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm not thinking of the right method. But I think your button code is pretty solid, dude. Let's open it back up. Let's see where nodes are. So there were comments on the nodes or just the macro? Looks like just the macro. Okay. There is something that I need to actually learn. Looking at this right here, maybe have the point reveal with the button, like show the user control on the screen with the button. I know for a fact you can do that because I've seen Mr. Alex Tech's Magic Zoom preset. I have yet to dig into it to figure out how he does it. I have heard of the method, I've tried the method, but I've never gotten the method to work. And that is definitely just a me issue. I just didn't know how to use it right. But I know there was a way to make the fusion controls hide or show depending on the situation, which is freaking amazing to me. I want that. It's way better than having a really busy freaking unnecessary window. For the stuff on the screen to not be visible with an expression? I thought there was a line of code like how I see visible is. Like, I thought you would go to the control that has that, and then you just insert that line of code into there, like how we do pass through, or like how you're setting the expressions. It's like an attribute. I don't remember what it is, though. I don't think I wrote it down. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. And I'm not talking about hiding the controls over here, right? I mean, you would still need to actually have that line of code in the macro itself. I'll have to look at that. Maybe I just did not use that line of code correctly. Maybe it was an expression and I thought it was something else. I'm just doing this to get our button code back. Yeah, it's fine. We can talk about that later. Try to figure it out. I'll also dig into Alex's macro and see if what I can find. I'm gonna actually ask Alex if I'm allowed to break down his macro, because I'm going to make a maybe like a couple of video series, maybe just a one video series in that case, of me breaking down a macro, and I want to do that one. I want to do the Magic Zoom or Magic Animate, because they're both great for teaching somebody some complex things about macros. I just have to get permission, I'm sure. Because sharing his secrets with the world probably is not his most anticipated thing that he wants to do. Probably doesn't want to have that happen. Label control has an expression linked to a checkbox that shows and hides a control. I know that you can do... Well, yeah, I mean, I showed off... Pretty much, yeah. Here's how you make your own Magic Zoom. Fuck you, Alex. That's what it feels like if I don't ask him. I just have to. Not this. That's not what I want. Let's give me a picture in here. So, like, for my effects manager, like, I do the hiding and showing of controls, like this. But I mean, like, the stuff on the user, on, like, the Fusion controls on the edit page here. Like, you can hide and show controls, and like, that's how I know what I know how to do pretty easily, and I showed that off in the video. But honestly, the Magic Zoom, I'll quickly take a little peek at it, but I won't, you know, give all of his secrets away in this stream. But just the basic pro version, which that is massive, by the way. Let's convert this. Hopefully I don't break anything. Sometimes this does break stuff on complex macros. We'll see. It did. This will happen sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know the exact reason as to why. Very strange things happen when I unpack things. This is his entire... No, this isn't his entire thing. That's not his entire macro. There's more. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Hopefully this doesn't break this time. Okay, fingers crossed, no breaking. Okay, we look good. Okay. Let's make this huge. Alex likes to shove things into groups and hide his secrets away from the world. But really, for his Magic Zoom, there's not a lot happening. Like, this is it. Like, these just enable and disable a node. Enables, disables nodes. Like, he doesn't do a lot of insane things with this. I mean, it is pretty insane stuff. Let me not say that incorrectly now. He does crazy stuff with it. Hey, no problem, Peach. It's good to have you here. I'll catch you next time, dude. And hopefully we got some more stuff to talk about for your macro. Or for any future macro as well. But yeah, Sleeveless, it is not a very complex macro. Like, looking at the actual nodes, he just has some really smart stuff happening behind the scenes. Like, this is using the, I think, OpenFX transform node. Like, he's using the one that's not XF, he's using the plain one. And that's how you can get, like, separate X and Y's and all these different things. But then he's got all these modifiers and expressions and things happening behind the scenes. Like, that's where all the magic actually happens. Like, this is really just zooming up and then zooming back out. There's not really a whole lot happening with this. But then you start changing the other settings, and then you start turning on to constant zoom, which that's magic right there. Like, that's using some expressions on the labels right there. And you can set your constant zoom speed. And that changes the logic within one of these. Which I don't know which one it is that's doing that, but it's changing the logic somewhere in here. I'll have to do a whole tutorial on breaking down macros, learning how they work from the inside out. That is planned for in a couple of weeks. I don't know, should I do a macro breakdown first of somebody else's macro, or begin the series to build your own macro from scratch? Like, what would you guys rather have first, right? I also love how that when Peach came in the chat and it was like actively chatting, everyone went like dead silent. I found that hilarious. And it was only after like a small lull when like people actually started chatting again. I just find that funny. Learn how to build it yourself. Okay. Great. That works for me. Honestly, channel growth doesn't matter that much. I want to grow fast, but my past like 3 videos have not hit very well. So I've just stopped caring as much about channel growth. I'd still like it to grow fast, but it's fine. You are here just playing. I know, Doc. I know. You don't do the DaVinci Resolve stuff we do. Diet Sprite, by the way. Best Sprite there is, but also never round. That is true. It's like a mixture of like having enough videos for the algorithm to help push out, but also those videos are great for people who find future videos and just want to binge old videos. That's the biggest key point about having old videos is those are the binge material to help your channel grow faster. So make sure your earlier stuff's pretty good too. But yeah, next week is scripting introduction, and then the week after that it will be build your own macro, start from scratch. I'm gonna build a very specific thing. If you guys want to just use that as a basis to build your own macro off of, you can. But I'll probably be making, I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. But some interesting motion graphic. I'm thinking a lower third, but what other, like, would you guys want a title? A certain actual effect? Some other general VFX, a transition? I've really talked about transitions. That is something that I want to bring up. I also need to like go over in one video, going over the differences between all the different types, like titles, generators, transitions, and effects, so that new people coming in can select the right thing to do, put it in the right places. Because not many people actually know that. So what do you guys think? Yeah, like, it makes sense now that you've, like, after people have heard it a couple times, but when you're just starting out and you see things like After Effects and Premiere Pro having just one effects panel, you just shove everything in, and then you go to DaVinci and there's like 4 different types of effects, and you're like, what the fuck is all of this? What does all this mean? So then you have to like try to figure out what the differences are. And then when you're making an effect, you can't remember what they are. Then you're like, okay, does this go into a generator? Is this an effect? Could it be considered a title? It's definitely not a transition. What else could it be? So then you're like in that funk and you don't know what it actually is. And then you put it into titles when it's an effect and you cry. Because you did it wrong. I have tried to go back and rename my old videos from the previous month to be a little bit clearer as to what they are. Hopefully that helps with the algorithm a little bit for searchability, so that people can like be actually like Googling or YouTube searching for the answers. But also the problem is nobody's going to Google or nobody's going to YouTube for answers for macros generally, I feel like. Especially if they've done it for like a little bit and tried searching before and they haven't found anything. And the problem is I started making them. I don't know, this is just something that I keep thinking of in my head. Like, people aren't looking on YouTube for these videos because they didn't ever exist. Now that I'm making them exist, people aren't looking for them because they don't know they exist. That's just that's my thought process on my own channel right now. Some of your viewers has expressed interest in your subscribe button with a dissolve. I can make it a subscribe animation. Macro. We could do something fancy. Is Sleeveless still in here? Do you have any input on that idea? And anyone else? I think we just have Sleeveless, Chad, Franklin, and me. Yeah. What do you think of the like a nice subscribe button animation for our macro? Yeah, like most channels do like a couple of videos for macros every now and then, but then move on to other things in DaVinci. And there's no like in-depth macro series from my experience. Like, I mean, right now my videos are kind of all over the place for the macro series, but when I make the macro from start to finish, that's going to be like everything you learn from these random videos, you can now collect into one big project and make it into this really cool tool. I've also been watching a lot of like coding tutorials recently, learning Python. So I've been like learning how they're doing tutorials, and they're doing tutorials. Sometimes it's project based, sometimes it's topic based, and I feel like the project based ones always do the best for like teaching you how to use it, because then you get hands-on experience and you get something cool out of it. So that's, I mean, why wouldn't you do that, right? Yeah, you like the idea of doing like a subscribe button little animation, cool looking thing? Sweet. I'll have to come up with a few ideas. I'll have to brainstorm some things. I'm hoping that after I complete the macro series that I'm doing right now, it'll be able to be turned into like an hour or two long video, and I just title it like the ultimate macro or preset guide for DaVinci Resolve, or the ultimate template guide for DaVinci Resolve. And then I just make it like how all these bigger YouTubers are making their masterclass. And it's like how we have the masterclass from Casey, obviously. And recently we had one from another YouTuber. What was his name? It wasn't Darren. Jason? Was it Jason who recently did that? I think it might have been Jason, the other YouTuber who did it. Yeah, I think a big masterclass for macros, a one-stop shop for all your macro needs. And I'm gonna like make sure that the editing is on point so that everything is zoomed in on when it needs to be zoomed in on. And like I cut out the parts that aren't really necessary for the exact tutorials. I have chapters for the video for every single important part. and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we could totally do a swapper. I mean, my zoom tool makes it really easy. But like, if you're zooming with like the built-in tools in Resolve, yeah, that's a pain in the butt. But my zoom tool is like a couple of buttons, and I'm zooming with my pre-built animations. But yeah, I think we can totally do a swapper so that we can switch between. Magic Zoom is also a little difficult. Yeah, that's also a huge thing, Chad. Make things with the viewers so that they have one hands-on experience and they can be asking questions directly about that thing instead of having random questions that may not directly relate to it. And more people maybe have more questions about the topic because we're all doing the same thing. Man, God, the zoom is. Yeah, the Magic Zoom definitely needs some practice with it. I like the multi-zoom feature. It's really good, and I'm going to steal that code for no reason in particular. I'm going to steal a lot of... I've stolen a lot of Alex's ideas and turn them into different things. But that is the entire thing when you're making macros and tools like this. You take other people's ideas, learn from them, and build upon them in your own way. If you just steal them and take them directly, then you're kind of just stealing someone's idea. But I mean, that's a huge part of what I'm going to teach when I teach building, like breaking down other people's tools. Is you broke it down. This is someone else's code. They may have gotten it from somebody else. The logic may be theirs. Take it and make it something else and make it your own. You find an expression that does something crazy. Take it and make it your own. You found nodes in a certain order that do something crazy. Take it and make it your own. This is the world of coding, and there is properly no stealing unless there's a paid for. Like it's something they have to pay for to get to it. Exactly. Taking things you've learned from somebody else, taking techniques, and just turning it into something else. That is just art in general. Like no idea you've ever had has been solely your own. It's come from other people's ideas, thoughts, words, things that have happened to you. You're just making them all together into one idea and making it your own. That could be a motto as well. That could also be a t-shirt. First, there's a t-shirt for and wait for Resolve to catch up. And then there's another one. You gave me a great hook idea for an upcoming video. No problem. I'm glad I can help. Yeah, like we have two things. Wait for Resolve to catch up, and then we have and make it your own. Take it and make it your own. I like that. I have some short ideas for the future. I'm gonna write those down. I think I'm gonna call it here in maybe 10 minutes or so, just to give you guys a heads up. Just to let me get some earlier sleep tonight, since I've been going to sleep a little later, and we've been doing these for many hours after I expected them to happen. Plus, I'm getting cold, or getting hot. Gotta make a cutoff version, like a crop top. I'll wear that on stream. Yeah, imagine sleeping. I mean, just taking up NyQuil, right? Sleeveless. Yeah. It would be, wouldn't it? It would be, wouldn't it? Is that why your YouTube channel's name is Sleeveless? Because you wear sleeveless shirts and talk about Magic the Gathering? Is that why that's your channel name? They hate it when you don't play with sleeves? Why? Why do they hate it? If you guys want an update on the video stats, by the way, we got 61 views, about 18 more than usual. Looking pretty good. We're up on the views right now. It damages the cards. Oh, you mean sleeves as in like the card sleeves. I thought you were still talking about shirt sleeves. I was like, huh? I was really confused. And we got about 3.4 hours of watch time, which is about 4.4 more than usual. Not bad there either. My watch time for this video from today is about three and a half hours compared to 64 or 68 views. So I do lives, honestly, a little spoiler for you guys. It is to help get the watch time up, because that does help a lot. My current public watch hours on the earn page says 410 public watch hours for the year. Okay, so that thing in the Discord, I have been sitting on that thought for a while, trying to figure out what's happening with it. I'll share it to the screen for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about. There's a wizard inside of Sleeveless's computer. That's my best explanation for you right now. Let me share that to the screen. Sleeveless has a wizard in his computer doing some weird stuff. Either a wizard or a goblin or something. Because it's doing some weird clipping, spazzing out. Like, I would agree with Kitty if it looked like you were looping, and it looked almost like how it's looping. But if you look a little bit closer, you can see the pattern isn't repeating. It is moving to the next slot, but it's like not... It's not looping its texture. It's just snapping around weirdly. And it's got weird... So are the lines meant to be like that, or is it just the snapping that's weird? I'm very curious about this. I was wondering about this. Like, is it supposed to be like vertical lines like this? Is that intentional? Or is that also something weird happening? Jeez. I got the burps this evening. Yeah, I was actually about to suggest watching that Jake Whip video and being like, hey, try this out. You could try to send me the assets for this and I can look at it on my end. Or we can do a call in the voice channel over here and talk about it. And like you share your screen with me and like we take a closer look at it together. But I don't know off the top of my head why it would be doing that. There's probably a few reasons why it could be. I would just need to actually like take a look at it on hand, like in my hands, to like figure it out, or watch you play with it on like a streaming thing would work too. But my overall stats, so I did say... Oh yeah, they definitely might be different from that video. That happens a lot when it comes to like online assets like that. I did say, so I have about 410 watch hours for the month or for the year, according to the earn list or the earn page. But in this 28 days, I have about 190 watch hours with about 4.3 thousand views. Definitely not a good ratio. That's something that I need to work on is retention editing. Right now, I just kind of expect people to watch all the way through it because it's a tutorial. Why wouldn't you? But people still have attention spans. Even if the topic's important to them and they want to learn it, they still want some retention happening. They still want something engaging them in some way, which is, I'm sure, a huge part as to why like Casey does some Stranger Things in his videos to help retention. Let me show you my stats real quick. So if we take a look at my channel, can I just see views? Not with every single video splayed out in front of me? Views. Sure. Casey Ferris. Like, Casey does some goofier things in his videos, and I think it's for retention. So let me pull up my other screen over here. This is my views stats. Yeah, that is something as well. Like, he does more of like step 1, step 2, step 3. Mine's kind of just showing off a lot of features, and I'm gonna get into more step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah, that's something that I need to work on, is actually making it so that you like do it with me. Yeah. So this is my views for each video, and we can see these 2 spikes, or these, I guess maybe 3 spikes, are when I started streaming. And when I don't stream, I have some weird skewed stats because this is one of my earlier videos. This is the titles video. But like lately, now that I've been streaming, I have been doing some more spikes. And this is with a stream, a regular post, and a reel post all on the same day. That was what this was. This is last week. And it spiked big because the reels, if you can get them to be interesting enough for them to like swipe on and stay on, you get a lot of views that way. Definitely making a quick reel out of your video, making it a good reel, is a good way to get extra views. To try anything different with a thumbnail? What thumbnail? Which thumbnail? I do use, I was calling it reels, wasn't I? Yeah, the shorts. I do use, yeah, the shorts watch hours don't count, but the views are nice because it helps get the views to other parts of your channel. Because if you make the video about another video, it helps with getting people to that video. Like, let's see, what are my stats for over here? Yeah, I have changed, like I've made my thumbnails brighter, like my face has been brighter in the thumbnails. And I'm trying to work on overall making it flashier. Like, I'm trying to make it more focused so that you can tell what it's actually like, you can tell what the video is about besides vaguely getting an idea from what's happening on the like what's happening in the video or what's happening on the thumbnail. You can like tell what's going on. I'm trying to see where you can find the stat that like says how many people clicked on it from the short. Because you're right, Chad, that is a good worry. Like, are people actually like watching your video, or are they just watching the short and moving on? That's a good question. And that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Less brown? No, that's fair. It's more like an orange. But I'm trying to like keep it on like a certain brand, but I feel like that's just too hard to like see on like a page full of colors. So definitely I need to like choose a different color to like help my brand stand out. That logo that I currently have, the one that I keep showing off, the FP, it's temporary. It's a crappy logo that I don't really like anyway. I'm just using it because it's what I have. But I will be upgrading it to be something a little better. Is that what my top videos are? My top 5 videos are me being just bigger in the thumbnail in general? Well, we have the refine your macros one. You like the colors? Keep the colors that thought they are nice? But didn't you just say that you thought there was too much brown? Or is that talking about just for my logo, keep the colors? And then for my thumbnails, change them out? Yeah, of the logo, okay. Yeah, the thumbnails need to be brighter. Maybe some more whites, some yellows, neon greens. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really use the logo that much anymore. I've used it a couple of times in videos, but like or in thumbnails. But then I'm like, nobody really cares about the logo itself. The logo is kind of just there from the company. That's like the company I have all my freelancing and stuff out of, and the shop for all my tools is a part of that too. Yeah. Okay, this might surprise some of you guys, but Asher is not my legal name. Asher is not a legal name that I own. Don't shush, don't tell anyone. But yes, the name that I use on the internet is the more important one, because that one really helps grab people's attention to me. Fusion Pixel Studios is more like a name that I talk about when talking about freelancing and the tools like behind the scenes. Right? Like I'm such a liar. Asher Roland was a pen name for me when I was writing books. I used to figure out like think of and start writing nonfictions. Well, that's who we think of when we talk about. Yeah, exactly. Asher Roland is who I am here, but legally, that's not my name. But I do prefer hearing Asher than my legal name. But I also, it's not hard to find my name. I just don't choose to use it. If you want to find it, it's not too hard. It's on my website. So that's why I have like a special name that I have just for my face on the internet. You have a good night, Sleeveless. I'll probably be heading off here soon too. I'll catch you in the Discord. It was nice of Peach to stop by. I'm guessing Peach has watched a couple of my streams, because he's not been in any of them beforehand. And he saw that I did macro reviews and sent me a private message for one. And I was very, first of all, the Peach is in my Discord. I'm taken aback by that. And then he's like asking me for reviews for his macro because he's like learning macros right now. And like the timing of that's great because I'm teaching macros right now. Right? Like I'm surprised as to who all I've brought into my Discord and like into my circle of people that I'm talking with. I'm like so surprised. Now, Alex, he's harder to get a hold of. He did pop into someone's Discord recently, though. He popped into Mr. Justin Edit's Discord recently. And he did the funniest shit. Let me find OBS. Here we go. So if you don't know anything about Alex, he does not like going in Discords because he doesn't like the pressure of being asked all these questions. And he is really busy, so like he doesn't have time to answer all these questions. But he pops in this guy's Discord for any what reason. And like he pops in, he does a little jokey joke, being like, "Hey, I make videos sometimes." And then, you know, gets welcomed. People say he's nice, and I just go, "Oh wow, Justin got Mr. Alex Tech himself into a Discord server, and this is his fucking response." The Mr. Alex Tech, everybody. The Mr. Alex Tech. Dude is a goofball, I swear. Hey Chad, it's been good talking with you. If you got any questions, let me know in the Discord or anywhere else. We can talk. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night a little earlier than we have been in the past few nights because I am warm and want to break from talking. But yeah, I'll catch you next week with the new video. This one's going to probably have a lot of questions to be asked because it's going to be probably confusing for some people who are new to coding. No problem, Chad. And if you don't hop on the Discord, try some other means to get a hold of me. I will catch you next week. Bye.